We're gonna break away. We need to keep moving.
You don't understand. I didn't do anything.
That's more than this, Joe.
This isn't fun. How could you do this to me?
Stand up, sweetheart. Time to learn your place. Officer Marcus Blake grabs Emma Carter's wrist, yanking her from the food court chair. Her college prep book crashes to the floor. Pages scatter across polished mall tiles. Officer, please, I haven't done anything wrong. I'm waiting for my... Shut it. I've heard every sob story from you people. His fingers dig into her arm as he spins her around. Hands behind your back now. The metal cuffs bite into Emma's wrists. Too tight, deliberately tight. This is fun, isn't it? Teaching little thieves some respect. Blake's breath is hot against her ear as he tightens the restraints. Your mommy ain't coming to save you today. Emma's birthday gift list flutters to the ground beside her textbook. 17 years old, honor roll student, debate team captain reduced to tears in front of dozens of strangers. What Blake doesn't know will destroy his career, his pension, and his freedom. This story exposes the machine that turns children's pain into police bonuses. Where are you from? Tell us in the comments below. And if you're loving this story, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Emma Carter has never missed honor roll, not once in 4 years at Riverside High School. Her debate team trophies line the bedroom shelf at home in suburban Chicago, each one earned through meticulous preparation and flawless execution. National Forensics League qualifier, state championship finalist. The kind of student teachers write glowing college recommendation letters for without hesitation. Today marks her 17th birthday, November 20th, 2024. The tradition never changes. Lunch with mom at Lakeside Shopping Plaza, followed by back-to-school shopping and a movie. Simple, safe, something they've cherished since Emma turned 13 and became old enough to appreciate mother-daughter time. Rachel Carter works downtown in the federal building on Madison Avenue. FBI Financial Crimes Unit, White Collar Investigations Division. She tracks money laundering schemes, builds racketeering cases, follows digital trails that send corporate executives to federal prison. Emma knows her mother carries a Glock 19 and federal credentials, but mostly she sees the woman who helps with calculus homework, drives carpool on Wednesday nights, and makes birthday pancakes every November 20th. The Carter family embodies suburban Chicago success. 3-bedroom colonial on tree-lined Oak Street in Lincoln Park. 2 reliable cars in the paved driveway. Perfectly manicured lawn that meets homeowner association standards. The kind of neighborhood where patrol officers wave from squad cars, mail carriers know everyone's names, and children ride bicycles without supervision. Emma arrives at Lakeside early as always. Punctuality runs in the family. She selects a corner table in the food court's quietest section, positioning herself with clear sight lines to both entrances and exits. 4 years of competitive debate taught her environmental awareness. Control your space. Anticipate opposition moves. Never sit with your back exposed. Her backpack contains the usual arsenal: college preparation books, scholarship application materials, debate tournament notes, and today's birthday gift list. She opens college application success, essays that get you accepted, and begins highlighting passages about crafting compelling personal narratives. The mall thrums with typical Tuesday afternoon rhythm. Stay-at-home mothers navigate wide corridors with oversized strollers. Teenage groups cluster around GameStop and Hot Topic. Senior citizens complete their daily exercise circuits between Nordstrom and Macy's. Lakeside Shopping Plaza represents everything suburban Illinois promises: cleanliness, safety, prosperity, opportunity. Emma checks her iPhone. Mom's running 5 minutes behind schedule due to an emergency meeting with federal prosecutors. Nothing unusual. The FBI operates on crisis time, not family time. Rachel Carter will arrive with apologies, birthday cupcakes from the German bakery near her office, and stories about financial criminals too stupid to cover their digital tracks properly. Emma returns to her reading, highlighting a chapter about overcoming personal adversity in admission essays. The bitter irony will register later. She's about to experience more adversity in the next hour than most applicants face in their entire high school careers. Officer Marcus Blake begins his patrol route. Mall security contract mandates hourly foot sweeps through all common areas. Blake has walked these corridors for 19 months, memorizing every store layout, security camera position, and teenage gathering spot. More importantly, he knows his performance metrics. 48 arrests in the past 6 months. Department productivity leader, third highest numbers in the precinct. The kind of statistics that generate commendations, overtime opportunities, and quarterly performance bonuses. Blake's radio crackles. Unit 314 status check. He responds, conducting routine security sweep, food court sector. His eyes scan the scattered tables, searching for opportunity. Emma Carter sits alone, absorbed in her book, completely unaware that she's been identified as today's target. Blake's boots echo against polished marble as he approaches Emma's table. Heavy, deliberate steps designed to announce authority. His duty belt clanks with each stride. Handcuffs, radio, pepper spray, all the tools of intimidation hanging from black leather. Emma glances up from her textbook. The officer towers over her, blocking the afternoon light streaming through the skylight above. His shadow falls across her notes about college essays and future dreams. "Afternoon, miss. Mind if I ask what you're doing here?" The question carries weight beyond its simple words. Emma sets down her highlighter, keeping her movements slow and visible. Debate team training kicks in. Stay calm, think before responding. Never let emotion override logic. "I'm waiting for my mother, sir. We're having lunch for my birthday." Blake's eyes narrow as he scans her table. College prep books, scholarship applications, honor roll certificates peeking from her folder. All the markers of academic success that should signal a good kid. But something else drives his assessment. "Birthday, huh? How old are you today?" 17, sir." 17. He repeats the number like it's evidence of a crime. "You got ID?" Emma reaches slowly for her backpack, careful not to make sudden movements. Her hands shake slightly as she retrieves her learner's permit. Blake snatches it without asking, studying the photo and information with exaggerated suspicion. Emma Carter, Lincoln Park address. He holds the ID just out of her reach. "Long way from home, aren't you?" "Sir, my family shops here regularly. We live about 15 minutes away." Blake pockets her ID without returning it. "And your mother just left you here alone. What time did she drop you off?" The questions multiply, each one carrying an accusatory undertone. Emma feels the attention of nearby shoppers shifting toward their table. Conversations quiet. People begin staring. The normal background noise of the food court dims as her situation becomes entertainment. "She didn't drop me off. I drove myself. I have my permit." "And where's the car?" "Level 2 parking garage, Section D." "Keys, it's not a request." Blake extends his hand, palm up, waiting. Emma hesitates, trying to understand why showing ID has escalated into surrendering her car keys. Around them, more people stop eating to watch the interaction unfold. "Officer, I don't understand what I've done wrong. I'm just sitting here reading." "Keys now." Emma's training abandons her. 4 years of debate tournaments never prepared her for this kind of cross-examination. She fumbles in her bag for the Honda keys, hands them over with growing confusion and fear. Blake examines the keys as if they're contraband. Honda Accord 2020 model. Pretty nice car for a 17-year-old. His tone suggests the vehicle is somehow suspicious, undeserved, possibly stolen. "It's my mom's old car. She got a new one last year and—" "Stand up," the command cuts through her explanation. Emma looks around the food court, hoping to catch someone's eye, seeking help or at least witness to whatever is happening. But the watchers just stare, some pulling out phones to record the drama. "Sir, I really haven't done anything wrong. I'm just waiting for my mother. She works downtown and she's running a few minutes late because—" I said stand up. Blake's hand moves to his handcuffs. The metal gleams under fluorescent lighting. "Turn around, hands behind your back." Emma's world tilts sideways. The reasonable conversation about waiting for lunch has transformed into something incomprehensible. She stands slowly, her college prep book sliding to the floor, pages scattered across polished tiles. "Officer, please. This is a misunderstanding. If you just wait a few minutes, my mom will be here and she can explain." The handcuffs snap around her wrists with mechanical precision. Too tight. The metal bites into her skin as Blake adjusts them with unnecessary force. Emma winces but doesn't cry out, maintaining dignity even as her world collapses. "There we go. Now you're learning some respect." Blake's voice carries satisfaction, pleasure at watching a teenage girl reduced to helplessness. Comfortable. Emma says nothing. Her birthday gift list flutters across the floor, trampled by curious onlookers who edge closer for better photos and videos. Blake keys his radio. Unit 314 requesting transport. One juvenile in custody, suspected retail theft. The words hit Emma like physical blows. Retail theft, criminal record, college applications destroyed. FBI Special Agent Rachel Carter appears like a force of nature, cutting through the gathered crowd. Her federal credentials hang from a lanyard around her neck. Gold badge catching the overhead lighting. 21 years of federal law enforcement radiates from her controlled posture and steady voice. "I said release her now." Blake turns slowly, his grip still firm on Emma's restrained arms. The food court has transformed into an amphitheater. 30-plus spectators form a loose circle. Phones raised to record every second of the confrontation. The normal afternoon shopping soundtrack, children's laughter, conversation, mall music, has vanished into tense silence. "Ma'am, I'm conducting a lawful arrest. Please step back." Rachel Carter steps closer instead. Her FBI jacket hangs open, revealing the service weapon holstered at her hip. She's shorter than Blake, but carries herself with the confidence of someone who arrests bank presidents and corporate executives for breakfast. "That's my daughter, officer, and this is not a lawful arrest." Blake's radio crackles. "Unit 314, what's your status?" He ignores the dispatch, focusing entirely on the federal agent challenging his authority. Around them, the crowd grows larger. Mall security guards hover at the periphery, uncertain whether to intervene or retreat. "Federal badge doesn't give you jurisdiction over local law enforcement, lady." The word "lady" hangs in the air like a challenge. Rachel Carter has been called worse things by better people, but watching her daughter in handcuffs strips away professional courtesy. "Take the handcuffs off my daughter. She's done nothing wrong." She was loitering with intent to shoplift. I observed suspicious behavior. "What suspicious behavior?" "Reading a book." Blake gestures toward Emma's scattered belongings. Casing the area, looking for targets, classic theft patterns. Rachel Carter's training takes over. 21 years of interviewing suspects taught her to read deception in body language, voice stress, microexpressions. Blake is lying, and badly. "Officer, what's your name and badge number?" "Marcus Blake, badge 914, and you need to step back while I complete this arrest." "Complete what arrest? On what charges?" The crowd presses closer. Someone calls out, "Let the girl go." Another voice, "This is ridiculous." The public sentiment shifts against Blake, but he doubles down instead of backing down. Blake keys his radio. Unit 314 requesting backup, interference with police business, federal building. The reference to federal building is deliberate provocation. Local police and FBI maintain professional relationships built on mutual respect and jurisdictional boundaries. Blake just crossed both lines. "Mom, I just want to go home." Emma's voice breaks through the adult confrontation. 17 years old, handcuffed in public birthday celebration destroyed. The image burns into every witness's memory. Rachel Carter's maternal instincts war with federal training. Protocol demands she call her supervisor, document the incident, file official complaints through proper channels. But watching her daughter's humiliation triggers more primitive responses. "Blake, you've made a mistake. A big one. Take off the handcuffs and we can discuss this professionally." "No federal jurisdiction here, agent. This is city property, city ordinances, city arrest." More police sirens wail in the distance. Blake's backup request has triggered a response. 3 additional patrol cars converge on Lakeside Shopping Plaza, creating a spectacle visible from the interstate. News crews will arrive within minutes. A mall manager appears, radio in hand, face flushed with panic. "Officers, please, can we handle this quietly? The shoppers are getting upset." Blake ignores him. "Ma'am, final warning, step back or you'll be arrested for obstruction." Rachel Carter pulls out her phone, speed dials a number she hoped never to use in this context. "This is Special Agent Carter, FBI, Chicago. I need a federal civil rights response team at Lakeside Shopping Plaza immediately. Officer involved incident." The words "civil rights response team" change everything. Blake realizes his simple arrest has escalated beyond local police jurisdiction. Federal investigators will review every detail, examine every decision, question every motivation. But pride and momentum carry him forward. Backup requested. Federal interference with lawful police action. More officers arrive. Sergeant Daniel Hayes, Blake's supervisor, pushes through the crowd with growing alarm. What started as a routine shoplifting arrest now involves federal agents, social media documentation, and potential civil rights violations. "Blake, what the hell is going on here?" Suspicious juvenile, possible theft, federal agent interfering with arrest procedures. Hayes surveys the scene. Handcuffed honor student, FBI agent mother, dozens of recording smartphones, scattered college prep books. Every detail screams wrongful arrest. His radio buzzes with dispatch updates about news crews en route. "Marcus, take off the handcuffs." "Sergeant, I observed suspicious." "Take them off now." Blake's authority crumbles in real time. Sergeant Hayes overrules him publicly, admitting departmental error in front of 40 witnesses. The handcuffs click open. Emma rubs her wrists. Red marks visible where metal bit into skin. But the damage extends far beyond temporary restraints. The video explodes across social media with nuclear velocity. Trends within 2 hours. The footage captures everything. Blake's aggressive approach, Emma's polite responses, the unnecessary handcuffs, Rachel Carter's FBI credentials cutting through police authority like a federal sword. Twitter erupts first. The original video, filmed by 18-year-old Tyler Johnson from Evanston, accumulates 50,000 views in the first hour. Retweets multiply exponentially. Police accountability activists share the footage with burning commentary about racial profiling and police overreach. Instagram follows immediately. Multiple angles emerge as different witnesses post their recordings. Emma's scattered college prep books become symbols of interrupted dreams and targeted excellence. The image of an honor student in handcuffs crystallizes everything wrong with aggressive policing tactics. Facebook groups ignite with parental fury. Suburban Chicago mothers who never questioned police authority suddenly see their own daughter's vulnerability reflected in Emma Carter's terrified face. "This could be my child," becomes the rallying cry spreading through neighborhood groups and school parent networks. Local news stations pivot their evening broadcasts. ABC 7, NBC 5, and Fox 32 dispatch crews to Lakeside Shopping Plaza within 90 minutes of the incident. Jennifer Stone from the Chicago Tribune receives the video link from her police contact, already working sources for the full story. Blake's world inverts with stunning speed. Earlier, he was the authority figure teaching a lesson to an uppity black teenager. By mid-afternoon, he's the face of everything wrong with American policing, frozen forever in viral infamy. The mall management panics. Lakeside Shopping Plaza's corporate offices field dozens of calls from angry customers threatening boycotts. The security contract with local police suddenly represents massive liability instead of community partnership. Emergency meetings convene to discuss damage control and policy reviews. Emma's school mobilizes spontaneously. Riverside High's debate team creates a support group text chain. Teachers share the video with colleagues, expressing outrage that their star student became a target for excellence. Principal Angela Adams crafts a statement defending Emma's character and condemning the arrest. The police department faces immediate crisis management. Captain Thomas Fields receives calls from the mayor's office, FBI liaison, civil rights organizations, and journalists demanding explanations. The incident report Blake filed bears no resemblance to the recorded reality playing on every local news channel. Rachel Carter's federal credentials transform from personal detail into institutional leverage. FBI civil rights investigators receive formal complaints within hours. The Justice Department's Pattern and Practice Division opens a preliminary inquiry into Blake's arrest statistics and departmental policies. Community leaders who normally avoid police criticism find themselves forced to respond. City council members face constituent pressure for immediate action. The NAACP schedules an emergency press conference. Churches announce special prayers for Emma and systemic justice reform. But the most powerful reversal occurs in personal terms. Emma Carter, who entered the mall as an anonymous teenager, emerges as an accidental symbol of resilience and grace under pressure. Her calm responses to Blake's aggression become teaching moments about dignity in the face of injustice. Blake's backup officers distance themselves rapidly. Patrol cars disperse from the mall parking lot. Radio chatter reveals uncomfortable conversations about proper procedures and supervisory oversight. Nobody wants association with the incident that's destroying careers and triggering federal investigations. The legal implications crystallize quickly. Civil rights attorneys reach out to the Carter family through social media and news coverage. Federal prosecutors review the footage for potential criminal charges. The incident transforms from local police matter into federal case study about systemic abuse. Emma's birthday celebration, ruined at the food court, gets rescued by community support. Strangers offer restaurant gift cards, college scholarship funds, and messages of encouragement. What Blake intended as humiliation becomes elevation through collective outrage and care. The power dynamic between Blake and Emma has reversed completely. He's now the one under scrutiny, facing questions, justifying actions, defending decisions. She's become the moral center of a story about justice, dignity, and the courage to stand up against abuse of authority. Mall security footage, previously Blake's potential evidence against Emma, now serves as irrefutable proof of his misconduct. Every angle confirms the same narrative. An honor student reading a book becomes the target of an officer seeking easy arrests for personal gain. Jennifer Stone has covered police misconduct for 8 years at the Chicago Tribune. She's documented excessive force cases, exposed corruption scandals, investigated cover-ups that reached City Hall. But the Emma Carter video triggers something deeper, a journalist's instinct screaming that this story represents systemic abuse disguised as routine policing. Her investigation begins with a call to Lakeside Mall's corporate security director, Robert Anderson. His voice carries immediate defensiveness, carefully measured responses that suggest legal coaching and liability concerns. We maintain a standard security partnership with local law enforcement, Anderson explains slowly. Officer Blake has served as our liaison for 19 months. No previous complaints have been filed. Stone's detector activates instantly. No complaints about an officer who arrests honor students for reading books. She requests copies of all incident reports filed at the mall during Blake's tenure. Anderson promises to review the request and terminates the conversation abruptly. The breakthrough comes through Dr. Patricia Williams, principal at Riverside High School. Williams has advocated for Emma Carter for 4 years, watching her transformation from shy freshman to confident debate champion, destined for Ivy League acceptance. Emma Carter represents everything we want in a student, Williams states without hesitation. Honor roll every semester since freshman year. National merit semi-finalist. Volunteers at the county animal shelter every weekend. Student government treasurer, peer tutoring coordinator. If Marcus Blake identified criminal behavior in Emma Carter, he's either incompetent or lying. Williams provides the crucial revelation that transforms individual incident into pattern investigation. Emma isn't Blake's first victim from our school community. The admission opens investigative floodgates. 3 additional Riverside students experienced Blake encounters at various retail locations during the past 6 months, all involving similar accusations, identical intimidation tactics, and eventual releases without charges. Tyler Johnson, 18, detained at Target while purchasing birthday gifts for his grandmother. Blake accused him of suspicious behavior and casing expensive electronics while Tyler waited in line with a greeting card and chocolate candy. Alicia Davis, 17, aggressively questioned at Barnes and Noble while completing homework in the cafe section. Blake claimed she was loitering with intent to steal merchandise despite her purchasing a coffee and occupying the table for legitimate studying purposes. James Brown, 16, searched at GameStop while buying Christmas presents for younger siblings. Blake alleged fitting theft profiles and demanded receipts for previous purchases, treating holiday shopping as criminal reconnaissance. All honor students, all black teenagers, all released after family interventions, all traumatized by encounters that should never have occurred. Stone requests Blake's complete arrest records through Illinois' Open Records Act. The police department, desperately attempting to appear transparent amid growing public pressure, delivers initial data by evening. The statistics reveal systematic targeting disguised as proactive policing. Officer Marcus Blake's 6-month performance summary tells a devastating story. 48 total arrests, department leader in productivity metrics, commended twice for exceptional theft prevention initiatives and community safety enhancement. The demographic breakdown exposes coordinated discrimination. 42 arrests involve black suspects. 34 target minors aged 15 through 18. 39 occur at retail establishments. 30 involve theft-related charges. Only 15 cases proceed to actual prosecution. Only 5 result in convictions. Stone's analysis reveals Blake's true success rate. 90% of his arrests involve innocent people, but 100% generate departmental statistics that justify continued aggressive tactics and personal bonuses. Security footage obtained through media disclosure requests provides visual confirmation of predatory behavior patterns. Blake's November 20th patrol route shows systematic scanning methodology, ignoring clusters of white teenagers around arcade games, bypassing elderly couples sharing coffee and conversation, focusing exclusively on Emma Carter reading college preparation materials at an isolated table. The timestamp evidence proves premeditation. Blake approaches Emma's table at a specific moment. His radio transmission requesting backup for suspicious juvenile activity transmits 74 seconds before initiating any contact or observing any behavior. He decided to arrest Emma before conducting investigation, conversation, or assessment. Stone's most explosive discovery emerges from financial records obtained through public disclosure laws. Blake's personnel file reveals quarterly performance bonuses directly tied to arrest productivity statistics. $50 per arrest, $100 for theft-related charges, $150 for arrests resulting in convictions. The mathematics of systematic injustice crystallize clearly. Blake earned $2,400 in bonus compensation during the previous quarter, entirely generated by arresting innocent black teenagers who committed no crimes whatsoever. Emma Carter represented a potential $100 bonus opportunity interrupted only by unexpected federal intervention. Investigation expands to examine the broader mall police partnership generating these perverse incentives. The contract between Lakeside Shopping Plaza and the Municipal Police Department, obtained through Freedom of Information Act requests, contains the damning section 7.3, security effectiveness measured through incident response metrics and deterrent arrest statistics. Corporate translation. The shopping center pays police departments based on arrest numbers rather than actual crime prevention or community safety outcomes. This partnership generates $180,000 annually for the police department, allocated between patrol coverage costs and productivity incentive payments. Mall management receives substantial insurance premium reductions based on documented police presence and arrest activity statistics. Every stakeholder profits, except the innocent families targeted for systematic harassment. Stone interviews Sergeant Daniel Hayes, Blake's direct supervisor, who acknowledges awareness of the bonus incentive system while claiming ignorance about demographic targeting patterns. Officers receive encouragement to maintain proactive enforcement, Hayes explains defensively. If certain populations commit disproportionate crimes, arrest statistics naturally reflect demographic realities. The circular reasoning collapses under logical scrutiny. Blake's proactive arrests create the criminal statistics subsequently used to justify continued targeting of innocent people. The system perpetuates itself through manufactured crime waves that exist only on paper. Additional sources emerge as Stone's investigation gains journalistic momentum throughout the evening hours. Former Lakeside employees describe Blake's oppressive presence, his laser focus on young black customers, his casual deployment of intimidation tactics against families attempting normal shopping experiences. Current security personnel admit growing discomfort with Blake's aggressive methods, but claim institutional powerlessness to challenge police authority or modify partnership agreements. Documentary evidence expands beyond Blake's individual misconduct to reveal systematic departmental failures. Internal affairs records show 3 formal complaints about Blake's conduct filed during the past year, all dismissed as unfounded allegations without serious investigation or disciplinary action. Blake's official personnel file contains glowing performance evaluations praising his community policing excellence, proactive crime prevention initiatives, and dedication to public safety enhancement. The commendations directly contradict the pattern of abuse documented through Stone's investigation. Her most devastating evidence comes from radio communication transcripts obtained through court filings in unrelated criminal cases. Blake's patrol communications reveal consistently predatory language about potential arrest targets, demonstrating premeditation and racial motivation. November 15th, Unit 314 observing probable shoplifter, female black juvenile, wearing expensive clothing inconsistent with demographic profile. October 27th, suspicious loitering activity. Food court area, black male teenager, no visible purchases, possible theft reconnaissance. September 19th, potential retail violation, black female minor, extended presence without purchasing, probable theft planning. These transcripts establish legal premeditation, explicit racial targeting, and systematic hunting of innocent teenagers to fulfill arrest quota requirements. Stone cross-references Blake's documented arrest locations with mall surveillance camera footage, discovering patrol routes that systematically bypass areas frequented by white families while intensively monitoring spaces where black customers typically congregate. Her investigation reveals Blake's broader community impact extending far beyond individual arrests. Multiple families report avoiding certain retail establishments. Teenagers fear shopping independently. Parents accompany children on routine errands to prevent potentially traumatic police encounters. Blake's productivity has successfully terrorized an entire community into submission and avoidance. What would you do if this was your child facing systematic targeting for profit? Share your thoughts below. Stone's preliminary article publishes online late that night with the headline, Chicago officers' 48 arrests in 6 months reveals systematic targeting of black youth for departmental profit. The investigation goes viral immediately, generating 200,000 views overnight and sparking national conversations about policing for financial gain rather than public safety. The police department's war room convenes early the next morning, 12 hours after Jennifer Stone's article explodes across national media. Captain James Wilson paces behind a conference table littered with damage control strategies. The institutional panic is immediate and coordinated. "This journalist is destroying our department," Wilson declares to assembled command staff. One incident gets blown out of proportion, and suddenly we're running conspiracies. The counterattack launches across multiple fronts. Police union attorney Richard Hayes releases a statement defending Blake's exemplary service record and condemning sensationalized media coverage designed to undermine law enforcement. Blake receives full departmental backing despite overwhelming evidence. His personnel file gets scrubbed of negative evaluations. Complaint records develop technical difficulties when journalists request documentation. The blue wall activates with military precision. Internal radio communications from November 20th disappear from official transcripts. The damning transmission where Blake requests backup before approaching Emma never existed, according to revised records. Digital evidence vanishes into bureaucratic holes. Hayes schedules aggressive media interviews defending Blake's actions as textbook community policing. He frames Emma Carter's arrest as standard procedure and characterizes FBI intervention as federal overreach interfering with local authority. Jennifer Stone faces immediate retaliation. Anonymous callers flood her office with threats disguised as concerned citizen feedback. Her editor receives pressure from police liaison questioning the newspaper's anti-police agenda and inflammatory reporting. Stone's sources begin recanting statements under departmental pressure. Former mall employees claim they were misquoted when describing Blake's tactics. Security personnel develop sudden amnesia about witnessing inappropriate behavior. The police union mobilizes political connections to contain the scandal. City council members receive calls emphasizing the department's crime reduction statistics. Blake's misconduct gets contextualized as isolated aberration rather than systematic abuse. Mayor Patricia Davis schedules a press conference defending the department's professional standards while promising thorough investigation. Her political survival depends on law enforcement support, creating impossible conflicts between justice and necessity. Blake's radio transcripts resurface through unexpected channels, but the department questions their authenticity. Digital forensics experts discover metadata inconsistencies and possible tampering. Technical obfuscation becomes legal strategy. The mall partnership contract undergoes immediate modification to eliminate quota language. Section 7.3's productivity incentives transform into community safety investments through wordsmithing that changes nothing substantial. Internal Affairs opens a pro forma investigation designed for cover rather than accountability. Detective Susan Martinez, known for clearing officers in misconduct cases, leads the inquiry with predetermined conclusions. Blake receives union legal representation from specialists defending officer misconduct. Attorney Michael Foster successfully cleared dozens facing excessive force and discrimination charges. Foster's strategy focuses on discrediting Emma Carter's character and questioning FBI motivations. He suggests Emma's suspicious behavior justified Blake's response and frames federal credentials as irrelevant to local authority. The department's public relations campaign emphasizes Blake's commendations while ignoring targeting patterns. Press releases highlight his volunteer work with youth sports leagues, omitting that participants are exclusively white suburban children. Witness intimidation begins subtly but escalates quickly. Mall employees who spoke with stone face scheduling changes, performance reviews, and workplace hostility. Corporate management makes clear that media cooperation threatens job security. Parents of Blake's previous victims receive police visits for follow-up interviews about their children's criminal behavior. The message is unmistakable. Pursuing complaints results in intensified scrutiny and potential prosecution. Blake maintains complete silence on counsel advice, but supporters flood social media with character testimonials. Back the Blue hashtags drown out justice for Emma posts through coordinated messaging campaigns. Officer Blake's attorney states his client followed proper procedures and denies discriminatory intent. The police union maintains that officers acted within policy, guidelines, and concerns should be addressed through proper channels. The department's medical examiner questions Emma Carter's psychological evaluation, suggesting her PTSD diagnosis results from pre-existing conditions rather than police trauma. Character assassination extends to undermining mental health credibility. Blake's arrest statistics undergo creative reinterpretation. The 90% court failure rate becomes proactive crime prevention that deterred hundreds of potential thefts. Failed prosecutions transform into successful community safety initiatives. Financial incentive programs receive corporate euphemisms. Performance bonuses become professional development investments. Arrest quotas transform into community engagement metrics. Language changes while systems remain identical. The counteroffensive reaches Emma's school environment. Anonymous complaints about her disruptive behavior and anti-police attitude flood the principal's office. Someone questions her scholarship eligibility based on criminal involvement. Stone discovers her phone records subpoenaed under terrorism investigation pretexts. Her sources face grand jury threats for interfering with police operations. Legal warfare escalates beyond journalistic protection. The message becomes clear. Challenging Blake means challenging institutional power structures that defend themselves through any means necessary. The cover-up creates new evidence trails and witnesses to intimidation tactics. Emma Carter hasn't slept through the night since November 20th. Every time she closes her eyes, she hears handcuffs clicking shut. The sound replays endlessly, accompanied by Blake's voice. "This is fun, isn't it?" 3 weeks after the arrest, Emma sits in Dr. Angela Foster's office for therapy. The psychiatrist documents symptoms that will become federal evidence. "I can't go back to the mall," Emma whispers. "I start shaking when we drive past Lakeside. Mom takes different routes now." Panic attacks began 5 days after the incident. Emma's first episode occurred during debate practice when a phone alarm triggered memories of Blake's radio. She hyperventilated in front of 20 students. Her academic performance suffers dramatically. Emma, who never missed assignments, struggles to complete homework. College application essays sit unfinished. How do you write about overcoming adversity when living it? Rachel Carter watches her daughter disappear into depression. The FBI agent who destroyed financial criminals feels powerless against her child's psychological wounds. Family dinners occur in silence. Birthday celebrations feel like memorials. "I keep thinking about what I did wrong," Emma tells Dr. Foster. "Maybe I looked suspicious. Maybe I should have stood differently." "Emma, you did nothing wrong. You were targeted because of your race, not your behavior." But logic doesn't penetrate trauma. Emma develops hypervigilance in public spaces, constantly scanning for police officers. Shopping trips become reconnaissance missions. She studies escape routes and potential witnesses. Sleep becomes refuge interrupted by nightmares. Emma dreams of handcuffs that won't unlock, of Blake's multiplying face, of college rejection letters citing criminal records. She wakes exhausted from subconscious battles. The family's safety shatters completely. Rachel removes FBI credentials from her car's visor, worried that displaying federal authority might trigger retaliation against Emma. Emma's brother, Daniel, 15, develops his own police anxiety. He watches his sister's transformation from confident teenager to trauma survivor and absorbs vulnerability lessons no middle schooler should learn. School becomes Emma's only sanctuary, but achievement feels hollow. Her debate coach notices changes. More aggressive argumentation, defensive postures, focus on injustice themes that never interested her before. College interviews scheduled for December get postponed indefinitely. Emma can't discuss future when trapped in past trauma. Yale's deadline passes unmet. Harvard's application remains incomplete. Dreams deferred by handcuff memories. Dr. Foster documents post-traumatic stress disorder in Emma's medical file. Sleep disturbance, hypervigilance, avoidance behaviors, intrusive memories, depression. Clinical terms fail to capture destruction of 17-year-old trust. Emma's friends struggle to understand her transformation. They see viral videos but miss internal devastation. Invitations get declined. Text messages go unanswered. Social isolation deepens daily. I used to believe the system worked, Emma tells her mother. I thought following rules kept you safe. But Blake didn't care about rules. He wanted to hurt me. Rachel's professional training provides no preparation for watching her daughter's worldview collapse. 21 years seeking justice for crime victims feels meaningless confronting family victimization. Physical symptoms manifest alongside psychological trauma. Emma develops stomach problems preventing eating. Headaches interrupt concentration. Anxiety medication dulls panic but clouds thinking. The irony cuts deepest during quiet moments. Emma planned college essays about overcoming challenges. Now she carries more adversity than any teenager should bear, but trauma isn't inspirational, it's paralyzing. Her debate team captain position sits vacant. Emma can't argue cases when struggling to articulate her own experience. Words that once flowed effortlessly now stick in her throat. Blake's 47 seconds of power trip destroyed years of careful academic building. One officer's entertainment shattered a family's American dream. The mathematics of injustice, decades of preparation erased by minutes of abuse. Emma stares at college brochures scattered across her bedroom floor. Yale, Harvard, Princeton. Each represents paths now blocked by trauma Blake inflicted for sport and profit. Should officers face personal consequences for destroying young lives? Share your thoughts below. The phone call that changes everything comes Tuesday morning. Rachel Carter answers to hear a trembling voice. Mrs. Carter, my son Tyler was arrested by Officer Blake last month. By noon, 11 more families contact the Carters through social media and community connections. Each story follows identical patterns. Honor students targeted, parents humiliated, charges dropped, trauma lasting. Attorney David Williams from the Southern Poverty Law Center drives from Montgomery to Chicago. He's built careers destroying systematic discrimination through federal civil rights litigation. The Blake case represents everything he's fought for 20 years. This isn't about one bad officer, Williams explains to families gathering at Mount Zion Baptist Church. This is institutional racism disguised as policing. We're tearing down the entire system. Emma finds strength in shared experience. Hearing Tyler Johnson describe identical panic attacks, watching Alicia Davis recount similar nightmares, Emma realizes she's not alone. Blake's victims form support groups bound by trauma and determination. Williams files federal pattern and practice lawsuit under Section 1983, alleging systematic civil rights violations. Each family represents separate counts. Together they demonstrate institutional conspiracy, violating constitutional protections. Community organizing explodes across social media. #JusticeForEmma evolves into Stop Police Targeting. Parents share stories about avoiding stores, coaching children on police encounters, living in constant fear. Mount Zion Baptist becomes movement headquarters. Pastor Samuel Davis organizes prayer vigils, legal clinics, and healing sessions. Church bulletins feature lawsuit updates alongside Sunday service schedules. Emma discovers her voice through advocacy. Speaking to trauma counselors helps other families understand PTSD symptoms. Sharing college struggles resonates with parents watching children's dreams deferred by misconduct. The Carter family receives overwhelming support. Emma's debate team creates scholarship funds for police harassment victims. Riverside High's Parent Association passes resolutions condemning Blake's targeting patterns. Local businesses withdraw support from police fundraising events. Restaurant owners who witnessed Blake's tactics refuse serving officers. Economic pressure builds alongside legal action. Jennifer Stone's investigation expands through victim testimonies. Families provide documentation Blake never expected. Receipts proving innocence, witness statements contradicting reports, photographs showing appropriate behavior. Federal investigators arrive from Washington assessing civil rights violations. FBI Civil Rights Division agents interview families, building criminal cases against Blake while supporting civil litigation. Emma returns to debate practice for the first time since arrest. Her topic, Police accountability measures strengthen community safety. She argues affirmative with passion born from experience. College deadlines approach, but Emma faces them with renewed purpose. Her personal statement writes itself, overcoming trauma through community action, finding strength in shared struggle, transforming victimization into advocacy. Families meet weekly at Mount Zion, sharing legal updates and emotional support. Children who felt isolated discover they're part of something larger. Parents who blamed themselves realize they faced systematic targeting. Williams prepares depositions, document discovery, and federal court proceedings. Blake's arrest records become evidence exhibits. Radio transcripts transform into conspiracy documentation. Bonus payments prove financial motivation. Emma's trauma evolves into determination. She still suffers nightmares, but they're balanced by dreams of justice. Blake destroyed safety, but community response restored faith in collective power. The movement grows beyond Blake's victims. Other families share stories of police harassment, creating networks of support and accountability. What began as individual trauma becomes collective action. Williams discovers patterns extending beyond one officer. Blake's methods spread through training programs. His success metrics influence department policies. The corruption reaches systemic levels requiring federal intervention. David Williams discovers the smoking gun buried in Blake's bank records late one night. The attorney has spent 12 hours reviewing financial documents when a pattern emerges that stops him cold. Blake's quarterly bonus payments don't just reward individual arrests. They're tied to a citywide contract worth $1.2 million annually between Chicago suburbs and shopping center security partnerships. The revelation explodes everything Williams thought he knew about the case. Lakeside Shopping Plaza isn't Blake's only hunting ground. Cross-referencing arrest records with bank deposits, Williams uncovers identical patterns at Water Tower Place, Woodfield Mall, and Oakbrook Center. 4 locations, 12 officers, same targeting demographics, same quota systems. The scope is breathtaking. Blake represents one tentacle of an octopus extending across metropolitan Chicago's retail ecosystem. Shopping malls pay police departments for security effectiveness measured by arrest statistics, creating financial incentives to target innocent shoppers. Williams calls Jennifer Stone at midnight with the discovery. Emma Carter wasn't randomly targeted by one racist cop, he explains, exhaustion mixing with excitement. She was systematically hunted by a profit-driven machine disguised as public safety. The contract documents tell the whole story. Section 12.4 of the Regional Mall Security Partnership Agreement specifies performance metrics tied to incident response, deterrent arrests, and demographic crime prevention. Corporate lawyers crafted language creating plausible deniability while establishing arrest quotas. Mall corporations receive insurance premium reductions based on documented police activity. Lower crime statistics translate to cheaper coverage. Police departments earn revenue from security contracts, while officers collect individual bonuses for productivity. Everyone profits except the families targeted for harassment. Williams traces money flows through corporate shells and municipal accounts. Lakeside Shopping Plaza alone paid $180,000 last year for police services, with $45,000 allocated to officer incentive programs. Blake earned $2,400 quarterly, nearly $10,000 annually, for arresting innocent teenagers. The financial web extends beyond individual shopping centers to regional development authorities and municipal bond programs. Police arrest statistics influence commercial real estate valuations, municipal credit ratings, and federal community development funding. Blake's targeting of black families isn't personal racism. It's institutional profit maximization. His victims represent the most vulnerable demographic least likely to challenge police authority through legal channels. The conspiracy includes complicit mall management, police supervisors, city officials, and insurance companies. Emma Carter's arrest represents a tiny cog in a massive machine designed to criminalize black presence in white commercial spaces. Bank records reveal Blake's bonus payments coincide exactly with his arrest spikes. September brought 14 arrests and $700 bonus pay. October delivered 16 arrests and $800 compensation. November was tracking toward his biggest month before Emma's federal intervention derailed everything. Williams discovers Blake's arrest manual obtained through discovery proceedings. The document distributed to all contract officers provides targeting guidelines. Focus enforcement on individuals exhibiting behavioral patterns inconsistent with customer demographics. Translation: arrest black people in white spaces. The manual includes photographs demonstrating suspicious behaviors: sitting alone, reading, waiting, using phones, wearing expensive clothes. Every normal human activity becomes criminal when performed by black teenagers in shopping centers. Williams realizes Emma Carter's arrest wasn't aberrant police misconduct. It was textbook execution of systematic oppression disguised as community policing. The attorney stays awake until dawn, mapping the complete network. 47 officers across 12 shopping centers generated over 2,000 arrests in 18 months. Statistical analysis shows 91% targeted black families. Conviction rate 8%. The machine created artificial crime waves through manufactured arrests, then used those statistics to justify continued targeting and expanded funding. Blake thought he was teaching Emma Carter respect. Actually, he was implementing corporate policy designed to maximize quarterly earnings through systematic harassment of black families. Williams's discovery transforms individual civil rights case into federal racketeering investigation. The RICO Act applies to conspiracy enterprises using criminal methods to generate illegal profits. The federal grand jury convenes at the Richard B. Russell Federal Building. 23 citizens from across Illinois file into a sterile conference room to hear evidence that will determine whether Marcus Blake and his conspirators face criminal prosecution. Emma Carter enters the federal courthouse flanked by her parents and attorney David Williams. Media crews line the sidewalk, but Emma walks steadily toward justice she never thought possible 3 weeks ago. Inside, Assistant U.S. Attorney Jennifer Martinez presents the government's case with devastating precision. The evidence unfolds like a prosecutor's dream. Financial records, radio transcripts, mall contracts, victim testimonies, statistical analyses proving systematic targeting. Ladies and gentlemen, this case concerns a criminal enterprise disguised as community policing. Martinez begins. Officer Blake and his conspirators turned shopping centers into hunting grounds where black families became profit targets. Blake sits in the witness chair, his police uniform replaced by an uncomfortable suit. His attorney advised against testifying, but grand jury proceedings offer no Fifth Amendment protection against prosecutor questions. Officer Blake, did you receive bonus payments for arrests at Lakeside Shopping Plaza? Yes, ma'am. Performance incentives are standard. Did you target black teenagers specifically for these bonuses? Blake's face reddens. I arrested suspicious individuals based on behavior, not race. Martinez displays Blake's radio transcript from November 20th. Unit 314, observing probable shoplifter, female, black juvenile. Officer, how did you determine Ms. Carter was a probable shoplifter before approaching her? Silence stretches across the room. Blake stares at his hands, realizing his own words have trapped him. Emma testifies with quiet power that captivates the grand jury. She describes reading college prep books, waiting for her FBI mother, experiencing Blake's aggression, enduring handcuffs designed to humiliate rather than detain. He said arresting me was fun, Emma tells the 23 jurors. That's when I realized this wasn't about public safety. It was about power and entertainment. Her voice doesn't shake. Weeks of therapy and community support transformed her trauma into testimony that demands justice. The financial evidence proves conspiracy beyond reasonable doubt. Martinez presents bank records showing Blake's quarterly bonuses, mall security contracts, and insurance premium reductions. The money trail connects every participant in the scheme. Captain Wilson testifies reluctantly, admitting knowledge of quota systems while claiming ignorance about targeting patterns. His credibility crumbles when Martinez produces internal emails discussing demographic arrest strategies and productivity optimization. Mall manager Robert Anderson faces prosecutorial questioning about Section 12.4 of security contracts specifying performance metrics. His corporate lawyers object repeatedly, but grand jury proceedings offer no refuge from accountability. The police union maintains officers acted within policy guidelines, and any concerns should be addressed through proper channels. But their statement rings hollow against overwhelming evidence of systematic abuse. Victim after victim testifies about identical targeting experiences. 12 families describe Blake's methods, his language, his satisfaction at arresting innocent children. The pattern destroys any claim of isolated incidents. The grand jury deliberates for 47 minutes, 1 minute for each of Blake's arrests. They return with comprehensive indictments: civil rights violations, conspiracy under color of law, racketeering charges, mail fraud, wire fraud. Blake faces 43 federal counts carrying potential life imprisonment. Captain Wilson receives 18 charges. Mall executives face corporate liability and individual prosecution. Emma Carter stands on the courthouse steps as Martinez announces the indictments. Cameras capture her dignity, her strength, her transformation from victim to catalyst for systematic change. No child should fear police for being black in public, Emma tells the assembled media. Today proves accountability is possible when communities demand justice. 6 months later, Marcus Blake sits in federal prison serving 15 years for civil rights violations and racketeering conspiracy. His badge, handcuffs, and authority are permanently stripped. The officer who found entertainment in arresting Emma Carter now faces daily humiliation behind bars. Captain Wilson receives 12 years for conspiracy. The Mall Security Partnership Program dies completely, banned across Illinois through federal oversight agreements. Insurance companies can no longer reduce premiums based on arrest statistics targeting specific demographics. Emma Carter returns to Lakeside Shopping Plaza on May 20th, 2025. She walks through the food court where Blake destroyed her sense of safety. But this time, she carries acceptance letters from Yale, Harvard, and Princeton. Her college essay about overcoming systematic oppression earned perfect scores. The therapy continues, but nightmares fade. Emma speaks at police academies about the human cost of targeting innocent families. Her voice carries authority earned through survival and transformation. Rachel Carter receives commendation from FBI director for her daughter's courage in exposing institutional corruption. The investigation expanded nationwide, revealing similar schemes in 43 cities. Federal oversight now monitors police corporate partnerships, preventing future exploitation. Jennifer Stone wins a Pulitzer Prize for investigative reporting. Her series on policing for-profit sparks congressional hearings and legislative reforms, protecting families from badge-wearing predators. The handcuffs that clicked shut around Emma's wrists now rust in an evidence locker. But their sound still echoes in federal courtrooms where justice replaces entertainment, accountability conquers authority, and young black voices demand the respect Blake tried to steal. When badges become weapons, we all become victims. When we stand together, we all become protectors. What would you do to protect your child from systematic targeting? How do we ensure police serve communities rather than profit margins? Share your thoughts below. Your voice matters in this ongoing fight for justice. Subscribe to see more investigations holding power accountable, because every family deserves safety, dignity, and the simple right to exist without fear. Where are you from? Tell us in the comments below. And if you're loving this story, hit that like button and subscribe for more.